Live with the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, the pride of Yale, Zena Keita. I am Bonte Hill. We hit on everything. Harrison Barnes is shooting 56% from three in the month of April. He's been on a heater. The Spurs, they're a professional organization. They don't lay down. They play to their principles, and they still won here at Chase Center as the Warriors play with their food, Zena.
We talked about the bench performance. We talked about their athleticism, just the tenacity with which they were playing, and this is exactly how the Spurs showed up into Golden State's arena. It took a win on the road. I'm still in shock. Still in shock at how that quick.
I mean, it had, especially the last 3 minutes was a playoff type feel. Warriors won the first quarter. San Antonio wins the second quarter. Warriors dominate the third quarter, but the San Antonio Spurs dominate the fourth quarter, make all the big plays. Just when you thought they kind of blew the game by Harrison Barnes fouling Draymond, Draymond makes 2 clutch free throws, but Harrison Barnes, Bonte's mentioned, came into this game really hot, hit a tough contested three-point shot to make up for his error, and they get away with a win.
Keldon Johnson off the bench, who Zena mentioned in our pregame show, 21 points as he was struggling in the month of April, but really the Warriors lost this in the non-Steph Curry minutes. They turnovers down the stretch, not making shots. They end up going 16 of 48 from the three-point line. So, Mully, not a lot of balance to their offense tonight against San Antonio.
Yeah, I think most importantly, Bonte, too, the San Antonio Spurs shoot 48 from the field, 40 from three, and 85 from the free throw line. They make 18 threes. And they didn't play a perfect game, but I thought San Antonio, as you said, Bonte, a professional approach. They did not, they played to a high standard. They kept this game close, and obviously, when they need the biggest basket of the game, Harrison Barnes stepped up.
I mean, looking at the points in the paint, you saw from the first half the Spurs continuously using their driving lanes to get inside and attack the bodies inside the paint. The Warriors didn't really have an answer for that except in the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, it was just the relentlessness. They attacked this game with a matter of we're not laying this down. Even with Jimmy Butler going to the line 17 times, there wasn't enough production out of the supporting cast for the Warriors to balance the efforts of Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry.
And so now the Warriors fall to 8-6 on the back end of back-to-backs. But more importantly, they get outscored by 15 in the fourth quarter, 38-23. So let's pick up the crunch time tape at the 3-minute mark of the fourth quarter. We're a little surprised that it was a crunch time type of game, but the way the Warriors have been playing early in this game. But 104-103. Nice little pass there by Jimmy Butler. Good cut by Steph. Warriors up 1. Mr. Castle, who's going to win the Rookie of the Year award. What an impressive young man. That's a big-time three right there by Champagnie. 14 points for him. 3-7 for the three-point line. The Spurs just would not go away. A brutal turnover right there. Keldon Johnson, this was great defense by Draymond Green. He turns it over, but he gets back, uses his verticality. A great defensive play right there. Zena, look at this.
Straight up. And didn't use him at the bottom, towards the body, didn't push his body into him. Straight up, got the play, but not enough. I mean, I really respect Keldon Johnson for going at Draymond. This is what you wanted, right? You wanted to see this early from Draymond himself, going at the bodies of the Spurs. But no, Keldon Johnson, and then that amazing sneak pass by Castle. I mean, great court vision, and Keldon Johnson positioning himself perfectly in that shooter's pocket right in the short corner.
Yep, and we were wondering, Mully, why Harrison Barnes fouled right there. They were over the limit as the Warriors earlier in the last minute of the game got fouled there. Draymond hits the free throws. It in Harrison Barnes. Really just a broken play. Jimmy Butler with great defense, Mully. But HB, as we mentioned in our pregame show, has been red hot from the three-point line. He attempted 9 field goals tonight. They were all for the three-point line, and he nailed 6 of them.
Yeah, he came in hot, Bonte, shooting 56% from the three-point line and made up for his mental mistake. He definitely made a mental mistake at the other end by fouling Draymond Green late in the shot clock. And this was a little fake handoff to keep. Jimmy Butler played really good defense, but a hot shooter, Harrison Barnes, knocks down the biggest shot of the game. So a stunning loss for the Warriors.
And this is why you're the Hall of Famer, Chris Mullin, because literally as that foul happened, first thing that came out of Mully's mouth was he's now got to hit a big shot to make up for it. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, I think Harrison Barnes felt that, and Mitch Johnson, their head coach, felt that. We're going to put the ball in your hands to make up for it. Harrison Barnes stepped up. You got to give him credit.
And that felt good for him doing that against his former team. A shot he didn't make a couple years ago in the first round for the Sacramento Kings in Game 4 to give the Kings a 3-1 lead. But the magnitude of this loss, this is massive. They're now 47-33. They're tight with Minnesota in the loss column, but they're now back in the box, Zena. So that week-long layoff that they're hoping for, may not come to fruition if they don't handle business against Portland and the Clippers.
You hate taking matters out of your own hands, right? This is what happens now that the Warriors have taken an L, and now they have to worry about other teams losing. They have to and hope that other teams don't take care of business the way they did tonight, and they have to win out. But now there's so much more pressure on that Portland game. And guess what? Portland now has a psychological boost. If they're seeing San Antonio come into Chase Center and do this, now Portland's excited, and of course, Clippers are waiting and hungry on Sunday.
And Bonta, you mentioned the non-Steph Curry minutes. I think they were minus 16. So the Warriors got off to a good start. I thought the first quarter they really established themselves. They gave it all back in the second quarter. They came out and really dominated that third quarter. And what you're hoping for is the start of the fourth to get that separation. So even when San Antonio does get hot, they don't take the lead or even get to a tie. That did not happen. San Antonio dominates the fourth quarter, gains momentum, and then it's going to come down to a shot like that. You put, as Zena said, the destiny in San Antonio's hands with a tie game. They're really playing for nothing. Harrison Barnes shot that thing, kind of free and easy, and it's a much tougher loss. That is a great win for San Antonio.
And you saw how excited they were?
Absolutely.
They're not playing to extend their season. They were just playing to try and end the Warriors season.
Spoiler, which we mentioned.
Exactly.
Spoiler, but the way they went about it in a professional way, played to their standards. They're not playing the string out. They know every time they show up and put that Spurs uniform on, that Greg Popovich is watching and analyzing everything they do.
There's a standard.
And you get Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes, some wily veterans who's been in the league a long time, teaching the youngsters how to play out the string in the regular season. What a big-time victory for San Antonio and a devastating loss for the Golden State Warriors. And Stephen Curry, he had it rolling. Look, this is his 6th season of his NBA career with over 300 made threes. He's the only person in that club. We know that. Stephen Curry, 30 points, 12 of 24. On the back end of a back-to-back, obviously he got to chill in the fourth quarter last night. Didn't play more than 25 minutes, but 5 of 14 for the three-point line, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and more importantly to me, Mully, just 1 turnover from the chef.
Yeah, played a great game, Bonta. As you said, you see in the field goal attempts, the efficiency, 14 threes. I mean, he's moving well with and without the basketball. He's had 2 great games since that tough game against Houston.
Yeah, he had such a nimble game tonight, coming off of screens incredibly hard. I called that out several times, watching him trying to lose his defender because Castle was on Curry tonight. Really, really tough. But Stephen Curry still found a shot, still found a way to produce, which he needed to do on the back end of a back-to-back. And you would have hoped that his teammates could have picked up, but unfortunately got the L.
Yeah, of course, the 300 made threes club. Stephen Curry's all over that. He's got multiple passes into that club. James Harden in 2018-19 hit 378 threes. The Ant-Man, he attempts about 10 threes per game at 305. And then Malik Beasley with a very, very good season for the Detroit Pistons, who will be in the Eastern Conference playoffs, and they're battling for a top 6 seed right now. But Steph moved around great, and he took a professional approach tonight, Zena, and how he went about his business, knowing how important this game was tonight.
You wanted him to continuously come back, right? After the Houston Rockets game, only 3 points in that game. You saw him come back against the Suns. You saw him come back now against the Spurs. This is the level of play that he has to have and sustain going into the playoffs. And this is what you can expect from the chef. He's a leader. He knows that right now he's not getting a lot out of his second star in Jimmy Butler. Tonight, of course, Jimmy Butler stepped it up a bit, but right now, Steph is the main source of offense, and he did that tonight.
Yeah, you look at, I mentioned San Antonio's numbers, 48 from the field, 39 from three-point range, 85 from the free throw line. On the flip side, I thought the Warriors was solid offensively, but I think, Bonta, I go back to those non-Steph Curry minutes. That's where the game hung around and gave San Antonio a chance to stay in it and give them an opportunity to have that type of fourth quarter. In turn, the Warriors just shoot 41% from the field and 33 from the three-point line. So that's telling me not generating a lot of high-quality shots. And I think the rhythm and pace of the game was more towards San Antonio. I thought they dictated that. And they flip-flop quarters. And unfortunately, San Antonio dominated the last quarter and made the last shot.
Well, the second quarter here where San Antonio outscores the Warriors 32-19. Zena, let's go ahead and pick up that 19-3 run to start the start the second quarter, I should say. Zena, we were walking in the arena, and the Warriors were rolling up 35-30. Next thing you know, I went to go get some coffee. The Spurs are up 7, 42-35, and you're asking me what happened. I'm saying, I don't know what happened. The Spurs came out to erase that deficit at the end of the first quarter, a 19-3 run to start the second frame.
And here's Kelsey attacking the basket with force. This is what you saw all second quarter. The attacking the basket, ball movement, great cuts, great timely cuts by the Spurs, getting into the faces of the Warriors, and also hitting their outside shots. Let's be real. Going into the third quarter, the Warriors were lucky to only be down by, I think, 4 points. Like, literally, the way that the Spurs were shooting, they had so many open shots that they just didn't knock them down. But really, it was just the aggression that the Spurs were playing with in the second quarter. They woke up in that case, and after starting, I think, the game 9-0 or 0-9, they were like, let's step it up, and they did in the second quarter.
You know, I think that's exactly what we mean, Bonte, when you say San Antonio's professional approach. As Zena said, I thought they could have had a bigger lead as well. They missed a lot of open shots. Third quarter, the Warriors come out and dominate them 37-21, but they didn't change the way they played. They kept sharing the basketball, much like the Warriors do. Right. If they were open looks, they were going to live with them. So all of a sudden, Champagne makes a three. But he had missed like 3 or 4 open ones, right? The shot that Harrison Barnes makes, the fact he's been so hot these last, 5, 6 games, I mean, that speaks for itself. But the professional approach of not letting the score dictate how you play.
Yeah, they went from having 9 assists in the first half. The Spurs had only 9 assists in the first half, ended up with 24. So they just ratcheted up the way that the ball was moving around the half court, just how quickly they were seeing each other. You saw several plays in which they would get an offensive rebound, it'd pass out. The person that got the ball in the kick out immediately knew someone was recovering. Quick pass out to the wing, easy three.
Yeah, and I think that's a direct result of consistently finding the open man.